Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Tinker77. We are back on FoolCraft today. This should be episode 13 if I am counting correctly. And today I have some plans that I want to start out with. We're going to do some work down here in the mechanical room, which is where we have the various extractors, the ore extractor, the resource extractor, I should say miner, botanic miner, and the nanobot beacon. And we're going to do some work down here. Before I start, I want to say thank you for everybody who's been subscribing. I do appreciate that. We're getting closer and closer to that 1,000 subscriber goal. So if you're new here, please subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It just takes a few moments, and it really, really does help me out a lot. And again, if you're liking this series, the FoolCraft series, hit that like button. Let me know down in the comments, and we'll see what we can do. So what I want to do today is I want to see the items coming off of this and going into some sort of the chest that you see here, the ender chests. I'd like to see the items. Right now they're just going through these little conduits. You don't see them. It's not very visual. I want to have something where I can show them going on in there. So I'm thinking about having some sort of conduit network up here that these three, not the nanobot one because it doesn't have one, although we could put a fake one in just to make it balanced out. But these three things going over to some place where we can see the items going into the ender chest. So that's what I'm going to do first for this part of the video. So let's work on some of this right now and see how it goes. So we need to make the duct work that we're going to use to show the items going into the ender chest. So I've chosen to use the impulse item duct. Now the impulse item duct is fairly easy to make. All you need to do is you take an item duct right here and you use a fluid transposer with energized glowstone, which makes it an impulse item duct, okay? Now over here, I have already, this is a magma crucible making energized glowstone and filling up the fluid transposer. So we're really good to go there. We just need to make the regular item ducts, okay? So let's see that right here. This should be pretty easy. We need a bunch of these. So let's just see. We can make 54. That's not a lot. We'll probably have to make more, but we can throw it over here. And there it goes. It's just taking out the pieces, and it should just keep on stacking them up. I'm going to make some more of this duct work because I know we're going to use it for other things. So I'm going to make up a few stacks here, and then we're going to get to work on placing these and seeing what it looks like. I've created a lot of the impulse ducts. So we're ready to go. What I want to do is I'm going to take it out of the same place. I'm going to kind of run it down, all the way down, and I run it to the floor into the center line here, and then go straight in to this spot right in here, underneath my waystone. And that's where I'm going to put, right there, I'm going to put the ender chest. It's already configured here. I've already got the places configured, so there we go. Now, one thing I want to do, though, is if you can see here, all around this spots is going to be cobblestone or stone or whatever's underneath these. And I'm going to want to change that because I want it to look like this floor material so it looks the same. So if I go over here, let's see, the center line's right there. We'll go over to this block right here. Okay, so what I want to use my exchanger, which I don't have on me. There we go. And so I will do shift and right click, and then it selects the block. And because I have it in my inventory, I can just change it all out. And I can even do that down here. I know I could set this up to be a different size, but that works just the same. So that's kind of where the item ducts will go. So if you can see here, I'll just do this one. Let's put another one of these blocks in here to fill it in and make it look right first. There we go. So it's going to go into there. Okay. And then we're going to go across and over to here and then up. Okay. And these will then transfer the items. Let's start to do that next here. Let me just get rid of this stuff. And let's exchange it again. I think it'll look good being that same material. Okay. And we got to get rid of the light. And we'll go up from there. So here we go. Go up. I have creative flight. That's such a great thing to have. And like I said, I'm going to just go right up this section here. And we're going to go right into that point right there. Now these have an item filter in them. Okay. So we have to make sure we have these items whitelisted for this. Okay. And I have all the examples of those items here. So we're going to set that up in the servo in just a second. As soon as I hooked it up, even without a servo, it started pumping out items into the system. And I didn't want that. So I broke the system here so I could put the servo on. We're going to use a servo because we want to add the filtering to this, okay? So if I go into here, you can see we're going to say whitelist. And we have basically these items here. These are the various items that are produced by it that we need to support. Okay? The other two that don't work so well with my pulverizing system are Cinnabar and the dimensional ore shard ore, excuse me. So I put those on whitelist, and now only those items should come out, or should say, come out through this section, which goes directly into the storage system. This side over here is going into our pulverizer section, and we're going to make that in a little bit too. This is just direct to our storage system, things that we don't need to have pulverized, okay? So now if I hook this up, we eventually should see, let me turn this on here, items start flowing through here. Let's just go down here and see. And there comes some pieces, see them? That's cool. Now I will probably put something over this conduit here so that we can figure out what's going on with it. But you can see they go into here, and then it should be taken out of the ender chest upstairs in the storage room. Excellent. So we have like a little visual tunnel here of this stuff working. Now we're going to make one for this side too, and we're going to make one for the botanic going over into this section here. And then I've got to figure out how to actually make this look better. I mean, I don't mind the tube going down, but once we get to the floor, I would like it to make it look a little bit nicer. Now I'm going to work on the filtered side. This goes to the pulverizer. And for now, I'm going to make it go right into the wall behind me, just straight back, not going downward. So you can kind of see it going the other direction. So we're going to do that here. There we go. I'm going to put on that, and I'm going to put on a filter here. We're going to set this filter up. We're going to blacklist those same items, okay? So here we go. Takes a second to do this, but this is worth it. Okay, there we go. They're all blacklisted, and we're going to say it's ignored. It should be ready to go. So as soon as we run this over to this point here, we should be good. And I already have the chest here. Let's see if I can get in there. Fly over. Okay, and then I have my height wrong. Haha. Let's put it right below then. Okay, this should be easy. I thought I had the right spot, but I didn't. Oh, this is going to be a pain to get this out without landing on something. Can I land on the pipe? Good. When you're flying, it takes a little bit longer to get the obsidian chests and other things that take a long time to break. So, there we go. Okay. And maybe I don't have enough space on me. Throw that out real quick. Okay. And we need to get this right here. Let's put this block back. And we'll get rid of this. See, I mean, it just takes longer when you're actually flying. Okay, and we should be able to just pump this straight across. And there they go. You can see the pieces are going in. And they're going into this right here, which is the pulverizing section. And it will take those, and the system's being pulled out to go into the pulverizers. So there we go. This system is working. It's pumping items out. You can see it going one way or going the other if it's a different type. So we're good. Now, we're going to work on this next. It should be just basically the same thing. All right. Once again, we're going to use the exchanger here. Not on the exchanger. And like I said, you could do more spots, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do a single one. And there we go. Okay, that's done. We're going to go up here. This, we do not need to have a filter on. Isn't that fantastic? So all we have to do is just set it to go. It doesn't matter. We don't have to do any filtering of whitelisting or blacklisting or anything like that. Okay, and I believe since it worked before, I can just go like this and it should just work. Because it did before. Just get it right into this line here. But we do need a servo so nothing comes into it. Yeah. So we'll say servo. There we go. So there goes items. They go out. And if we did it right, they should turn the corner right here. And they go into our storage system. Just like that. Excellent. Okay, next one. Not the nano beacon. We don't do that. Although I might do something eventually to have it come down just to make it look about the right. Same thing. Eventually, I'll have to redo all the piping because this is going to come up to a tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, and tier 6. So it'll look about the same and balanced out when we get done. So let's set up the botanic one next. Now that's funny. Setting up the botanic one, that's one of the items that does not have a texture or an object, so it kind of does a pink block. It's kind of funny watching. There goes another one. That's kind of funny. I like that. I'm not sure why that is. It's just a bug with the pack. Not a big deal. It's an item that's registered, though. But it does what it needs to do. So now I'm going to see what I can do about trying to hide this in a second. And once I figure out a solution, we'll be good to go. We're going to try some chisel and bits here. I have one for the floor that I did upstairs, but you can see it puts it right on top, or right where that should be. It should go right there. It's right in level, but it doesn't work because of the pipe. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try and make another one of those where it's kind of like the first pixel down. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I have to get those pixels first. Let's go into here. Let's do chisel. Let's find what we want. I'd like to use some other color maybe, but this looks pretty good. If I do the black, concrete would look kind of darker, or we can do the chisel factory block. And maybe the factory block is the way to go. So let's grab this one right here. Now what we're going to do here is I want to make that same pattern, and we're going to go across this way. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say do a line, and I don't know if you can see the pixel here. It's just every other block. It's very hard to see. I'm making an example here, and then I'll do a positive design of it. And then we will take it over there. So there we go. Every other one. And that might not be what we want, because we may want to see more. So what if I do every 3? That'll look a little bit off balance, though. So what if we do every 4? Like that. Oh, I'm up a block too, aren't I? Darn it! I think I am. No. Looks good. Okay, so we'll take that, and I'm going to just see what that looks like here. And if it doesn't work out, we'll make another one. So I'm going to take a positive design. I'm going to grab it. Now I'm going to grab this one right here. Oops. That one right there. And let's put that back. Okay. So this right here, this is the design here. I got one of these now. And we should be able to put it right there. Okay? And we don't really notice it walking off over it. But now all I have to do is I can just figure out a place to put this here. Right there. Like that. See? So now you can actually see, but still walk over. And we're not interfered with like this, like how we jump down into the pipe. So let me finish this up, make this look right, and then we'll be back to do something else for this video. One last look, and I think it looks great. I think it looks fantastic, actually. We have some more to do, obviously, but I imagine when it gets done, it'll look pretty darn good with this grading over top of the lines. You can see the items kind of going through. There's one right down there going through. I think that kind of adds visually to this room. So let's go on to the next thing. So after I did the last clip, I was sort of summoned over to the spawn point by Kent to show off a new idea he has. And when I got there, there were a bunch of these rectangles and pillars of wool, it looks like, and other things. So I think Kent is here in Discord and a couple other people, but we're going to see, let Kent tell me what's going on. So what's going on, Kent?
So this is the sales pitch. So Jude was mentioning we lack, and this is something that we've always talked about but never done, but Jude, being the newest member here, kind of pushed the idea of having a community area.
Okay.
Every server has kind of shops and different things.
Right,
so
right.
My kind of idea was, if you kind of follow me this way, is to have a community area where people can have shops, but also places to build, so they can kind of show off their building expertise or their styles, or just some place to be creative instead of just building like a box or something.
Okay.
Because on modded, it's kind of hard to sell stuff, so you kind of spruce it up a bit.
Right,
so
right.
My idea was everyone would have a plot, which right now they're about 2 chunks, and that kind of gives people limits so they don't make anything too big, and they have enough room to not only have a shop, but that buffer area around to add decorations or a fence or a porch or something.
Right.
Like
okay.
That.
Okay.
And then this glowstone kind of marks out a road a little bit, but I wanted to have it kind of spaced out, so it's more like you kind of explore. Like you walk into a village and you see all these buildings, and you have to actually walk to them, and they're a little spaced out. Some are on this island. You can build like a bridge over to it.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, and then it's we were debating on the size of it. So one idea was to do it a chunk. I'm more pushing for the bigger, like a 2-chunk area.
I think 2-chunk would be better. I really do.
Yeah, a buffer. Yeah, and then we can decide, you know, as a group or whatever, what the aesthetic for like roads and stuff would be. But I think that's, you know, that'll come later.
Okay. Okay.
DSA wants roads first, but I just wanted to put out some little squares here where people can pick an area they want. We can either do like a raffle or a lottery or a first come first serve.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I like that idea. We can do different shops. We can do the road idea isn't bad. It'd be nice to make like a very rough road that's, you know, not just glowstone.
No, that's more of a marker, just
right,
kind of so people
but,
can see.
So what are the? So I understand the rectangles. What are the white pillars? Are those?
Just chunks.
Oh, corners.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just kind of mapping it out, and then it was 1 chunk, and then that's why it looks kind of messy. So I just kind of put up squares to signify what 2 chunks. So everyone, if you take away your walls, you can hit F9 and still see what your build area is.
Okay, now does this mean that there are enough chunks for everybody?
Yeah, this is just kind of placement. I just kind of spaced them evenly out.
Okay.
But I like the idea of kind of navigating through the city, not just walking down one street and looking left or right.
Okay.
You kind of are immersed in the world, if you will.
Right. Now, there is a three single chunk square up here on this hill. What's that about?
Oh, that one. Wait. Oh, this one was. It's user or dealer's choice. You can either have the 2 chunks going this way, but I also thought it might be good this way, so you don't cover the water. Because I want to preserve the.
I think this would be a great 3-chunk site.
Yeah, and this could be what we were talking about earlier about the community room to save on spawners.
Right. Yeah. What we explain is that because everybody's making spawners all over the place, and it can cause lag eventually, having so many running all over. The idea has been put forth that we actually bring the spawners into one spot, so we don't have all the lag, and have one of each type, and have like a community area to grab the loot. So it's free for everybody on the server. That way we kind of keep the thing from lagging so much, and that was an idea that has been put forth. And I like that idea, actually. So.
Thank you. Yeah, because I figured no one needs to prove themselves that they can make a blaze spawner or an enderman spawner. Like, we all get it. It's just, if there's 7 people on the server with spawners running all the time,
right,
that adds to lag. So if we just make I can put the spawners at my base or another spot that people aren't loaded in all the time, and then have them go through ender chests, like colored ender chests, like yellow would be blaze. So you just open up an ender chest in this building, it'll always be full. And I'll have a buffer in that area to have its, you know, multiple chests worth that always kind of go in.
Right. Okay. Well, I like this idea. I'll help work on it in a little bit once I get done with the video. And yeah, let's be fun. Okay, I'm gonna get going here, guys. Thanks for letting me know.
Hey, see you later.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, everybody. Looks like we're going to have a shopping area, a community area, which will be really, really cool. We're going to have some sort of currency system set up. That's also very cool, and we'll probably be working on that soon. I have no idea what I'm going to try to sell. Do you have any ideas? If you do, hey, put a comment. Let me know. I've got looking for some good ideas of some sort of structure we can build, what style, and what we can try to sell. I want to try to get in on this pretty quick before I lose out on whatever I want to do. So if you have any suggestions, please put it down in the comments. So that's all I have time for today. We did obviously look at the new community area. We also worked on this. We made these impulse item ducts, and we have it going into the center here, and you can see the items going through. This one's a good one because you can only see the pink items sometimes that come through. But you can see them just go right on, and they go into that spot. And eventually, we'll get all these built up so they'll be nice and even size once I get to tier 6. So, yeah, it was a fun episode. I enjoyed it, and hopefully you did too. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you have any comments, put them in the comments section. And of course, if you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're new here, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon and suggest that you want to see all of them, of the notifications, so you get those. That's very helpful. And hopefully, I'll see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.